Hello, everyone, and welcome back to It All Starts With a Wish podcast. My name is Rachel.
And I'm Mark.
And you want to know a fun fact about today?
Oh, sure. I love fun facts.
Before, we hear a dad joke.
Yeah.
Today...
Oh, that reminds me. Thank you.
Today, at the time of this recording, is May 28th. And it's the 30th anniversary of Disney's Wilderness Lodge.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
This is not when it's posting, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying today, the day that it is today is May 28th. And it's the 30th birthday for Wilderness Lodge.
Kind of tough to believe that it's that old, but...
I know. It doesn't seem like that old.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, thank you for that fun fact.
Yeah. Everyone's been saying happy birthday on social media. So.
Yeah. Everybody can wish Wilderness Lodge a belated birthday when they actually listen to this episode.
Belated. And also Donald's 50th and Goofy's birthday was recently.
Oh.
Yeah.
Donald's
a lot of
what?
birthdays. 90th.
Oh, I was about to say
50th?
No.
It was his 90th birthday. He's
Donald's
old.
getting old.
Getting up there. Well, Mickey's 100. Now we just celebrate Mickey?
We did just celebrate Mickey's 100th birthday.
100. Wow. All right, dad joke.
Dad joke? I love how you've just kind of accepted this as part of the podcast, so thank you for that. I think everybody
The book is
likes
just
it.
sitting there, so...
It is. It stares at me.
To be fair, no one has said that they liked it.
Nobody said that they haven't liked it.
Yes, I know, but don't assume.
Well...
Go ahead.
No, in the affirmative until proven otherwise.
All right.
Until people are like,
hope,
no,
maybe
this is stupid.
I hope
First rule of the
Try again.
First rule of the Procrastination Club. I'll tell you tomorrow.
All right, that's funny because that's me.
Uh-huh.
I'll just tell you tomorrow. Well...
We won't be procrastinating anymore in this episode. We're going to jump right into it.
We're going
to talk about wild extras at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. So, if you don't know...
If you don't know, now you know.
Don't finish that statement.
I won't. It's a song.
I know it is. If you don't know, on top of everything that is already magical about Walt Disney World, there are even more magical extras that you can add on to your trip or ticket or park day or resort day or whatever to get even more insider access to the magic.
Yeah. Worth noting, magical extras do cost extra money.
Well, I said in addition to.
Yes.
In addition to your park ticket or resort stay. Now...
So for this extra magic, you will be doling out cash.
It is extra.
But...
However, if you are somebody like even Mark and I, who do go often enough where... you've probably done everything in the parks already and or free things around the resorts. These can be special things you add on. I also think that they can be really special for either special occasions or things like, celebratory moments, graduation, birthdays, those little extra things that you can add on. So today we're going to focus just on Animal Kingdom, the theme park.
As opposed to...
Animal Kingdom Resort area.
Well, yeah, it would be the Animal
things.
Kingdom Lodge.
But this particularly, you'll need a park ticket to get into.
Yes, this is only in the park, sure. I thought that you were saying, like, in the Animal Kingdom in the world at large, and I was like, okay, sure.
No, maybe there's another Animal Kingdom. I don't know. Probably not. There's only one.
I mean, there's only one Disney's Animal Kingdom.
True. All right, we're going to start... with something that Mark and I have been on, and that is the Wild Africa Trek. Now, this was absolutely amazing. What did you think about this overall?
Well, first, what is it?
Well, I just wanted to know, you thought it was good?
I did.
Oh, okay.
But what is it for
I was
those
gonna
at
get
home
there.
who are not?
I was going to get there. I just wanted your opinion first. This was really amazing.
I'll give my opinion after they
Oh
know
my
what I'm
gosh.
giving my opinion on.
All right. Well, it is a 3-hour long trek, in parentheses, not really trekking, but you're basically going
You
behind
are
the
in
scenes.
some ways, though. Like,
Yeah,
you are walking.
it's
in
not like
parts of it.
hardcore though. We'll go over the need to knows a little later. But basically, you are going behind the scenes of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve in the safari. So, if you've ever been on the safari and you've
Kilimanjaro
ever,
safaris.
yes, the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. That's what it's called. If you've ever been on the safaris, and if you've ever looked up and wondered what those big bridge things were in the skies, or maybe you've seen a tour or trek happening where you're in like where the hippos are and you can see across the ledge people feeding them, you probably saw one of these treks.
You probably did.
So, like I said, it's 3 hours long. You have your own tour guides. One is taking all kinds of complimentary photos for you. So they will have pictures of the animals, pictures of you, different like angles. Like I have some of my favorite pictures of me looking out of a safari truck
I
with
could have sworn
binoculars.
you just said ankles.
Angles.
I understand that, but I could have sworn that you said ankles.
All the ankles.
All the ankles of all the animals. Like,
All the animals.
There you go. A wildebeest ankle. Who knew?
Who knew that they had one? And then you also get to have a lunch / late lunch, really not lunch, or early breakfast. And this is all included in your things.
Not an early breakfast.
I'm sorry, early lunch. Start over.
Wow. Kind of all over the place today.
Wow.
Love it.
You also get a meal that I really didn't get much out of, but it's all first class African inspired snacks basically. So they're all like little snacks that make up this one little lunch.
Tapas, is that what they call those?
There you go. So, Mark, now that I have said what it is, how did you feel about it?
This was awesome. Mic drop.
Wow. You heard it here first, folks.
It is.
Was
like,
awesome.
This is, it's going to cost you quite a bit of money to do this.
It is. It's, can I tell you how much it is a
Sure.
person? Right now, at the time of recording, it is $219 per person.
Now, you may hear that and say, that's a lot of money, on top of already having a park ticket for that day.
Right.
Because you have to buy a park ticket in order to get into the park
Correct.
in order to do this.
Right.
So that's $219 per person on top of that. But what I will say is this is a tremendous experience. You get a far different view of these animals than you ever would get on an actual Kilimanjaro safaris if you're on the ride. You get personalized interactions, very small groups. I think our group only had like 6 people on it. I think it was the 2 of us, a father and a son, and then like 2 other people.
Yeah.
Very intimate. You have 2 experts, wildlife experts on the tour with you. And this is not your traditional, they're going to say the
Like
same
Savannah
few
tour.
things.
Yeah. Like, you already know because you've been on the safari so many times.
Right, and you could almost give, like, the narration because it's a script.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that. You actually can ask them real questions about how they care for the animals, what they do. It is a tremendous experience. On top of just the knowledge base that you get to, explore kind of behind the scenes. You get
there's
to hang
so
over
many
the
roads.
top of the hippos.
Yeah, there's so many different roads throughout that you don't see because if you're on the ride, then they stick to that. But there's so many different ins and outs, and you get so many different views. Like, basically, I'll put it this way. If you can't see some of the animals on the safari, they can take other roads, like on the main road. They can take back ways, and they'll find them. Like, they know where they are. And you get that backstage access. You get to kind of see where they keep the animals. You don't get to go in, but you can kind of drive by, like when we got there.
No, but you can kind of in some ways. Like you literally walk over the top of the hippos and you kind of like hang over the ledge and take a look at them up close and personal. You get to walk over the bridge over the top of the Nile crocodiles.
No, I meant like where they
and
actually
stuff like
keep
that.
them.
So you get to see these animals for a lot longer, extended periods of time. When you think about Kilimanjaro safaris, it's a 20-minute ride, right? It's a longer ride for Walt Disney World. But you don't typically get to spend the quality time with these animals that you're going to get to do on this tour from those different angles. And on top of that, you get to sit on the savannah and have a meal.
Yes, I didn't mention where that meal was.
So when you're riding through the savannah portion of Kilimanjaro safaris, you can look off to like the right of the main road that you drive down, and you'll notice like a little hut-like building up on top of a little ridge line there, and that is where you go for this experience to have your tapas or whatever you want to call them, your snacks and your refreshments. Mm-hmm. And it's incredible. You get to sit there and just watch as the giraffes and the zebras and the gazelles and the bontabok or whatever they're called. Not bontabok, but springbok. That's what they're called. And all these different animals as
just roaming.
They roam around the savannah. Even views of the elephants and the flamingos from there, too, as well. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. This was worth every last penny. You also get things like, you get your little name tag that's not super fancy, but you get a water bottle, refillable water bottle, and other things in addition as well. So it's just a really cool experience. It was well worth every penny that we paid on it. This is not something I'm doing every trip.
Yeah.
It's not something that we've done now for a long time. I would like to do it again, though. But to Rachel's point, if you're doing something special, you're celebrating something that's happening.
Or like you really love animals. And
Right.
like that's something you're like really into. And this is like...
kids who are older.
Well, I do have to say it is tweens,
2.
teens, and adults.
Yeah, I'm not taking my son who's 2. I don't think we literally could.
No, I don't think so.
I think that they're
8 years and older.
8 years and older, yeah. And I would say that I'm not taking an 8-year-old on this either.
Yeah, 48 inches
I would save
taller.
this for like a 11, 12-year-old plus who really loves animals before I'm taking anybody on this.
So there are some things you do need to know that are different than other things you can usually just walk into in Disney and just participate. This takes a little extra planning on your part. Obviously, there's a warning statement from Disney, good health, motion sickness. You are walking a lot. So it's not a hike per se, but it is a trek. You're on your feet for a good portion of it.
For the first part of it, you are. The
And then
second
you
part,
calm
you
down.
get into a truck.
Yeah.
And then you drive around on a truck.
Yeah. Like I said before, 8 years or older, 48 inches tall. And there's actually a weight requirement for this. It's 45 pounds to 300 pounds. And that is because of the safety harness that you are going to use next to the hippos, over the bridges, that kind of stuff. So there is that. You have to wear shoes that are closed-toed. Hiking boots are preferred. I think we both wore like hiking boots.
Might have.
So another thing to note is that you can't bring all of your personal accessories with you, like cell phones, backpacks, purses, any of that kind of stuff. You can have your own camera if you like, but it has to be fastened to the vest that they give you. They take all the photos for you, which is so nice that you have
And they do
those.
a very good job.
And they're good photos. Like, they're not
We still use the
camera,
ones that,
phone camera photos, even though some phones are very nice. You should definitely get there early. They will leave without you if you are late, and they are very strict with that. So definitely be there like 15 minutes before you need to be there. They do have a wheelchair accessible track. You need to contact them for that because that is something different. So they don't... It would be a special case, you know? Yeah. Weather. It's mostly outside. So, it is rain or shine. Exception for severe weather or lightning. So, it is to change without notice. So, make sure if there is supposed to be a storm or anything like that, you call them and all that jazz. Get it rescheduled.
This is definitely, out of all the things that we're going to talk about on this episode, this is the premier thing too. Like, this is the one thing that is the most expensive. It's going to cost you the most money, but is also the absolute coolest thing that you can do in Disney's Animal Kingdom.
I definitely think so.
The one complaint I had
was
the food.
Yeah.
I consider myself a pretty, like...
not adventurous, but, like, you'll try things.
Adventurous eater, and I'll try things, and... Rachel, not so much. Both of us kind of struggled with the food that was there. It's kind of very, like, charcuterie-esque things, and I don't like charcuterie.
Yeah.
I hate charcuterie. This may be an unpopular opinion. I know this is a big deal, putting meats and cheeses on a board, but I'm not a big fan of it.
It basically is. So here's a sample menu of things. You can get garlic and leek hummus and pita bread, prosciutto and mozzarella. Again.
The bread was good. The pita bread was
Yes. An olive mix, fresh fruit, a chicken wrap, marinated shrimp. Yeah, kind of.
The chicken wrap was good. I remember the chicken wrap.
Yes, I did eat that. And then you can't eat the flour. Remember you ate the flour?
Yeah.
The orchid?
I don't really like shrimp either. So it's like, yeah, it was kind of like a big
hard
miss for us.
So don't go hungry if you're a picky eater.
Yeah.
Or maybe eat right before you go.
But it was cool sitting there and like taking in the ambiance, and like I think they had a specialty beer or something like that.
Yeah, they had things like that. Yeah.
But that is a great segue to another thing that you can do at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
What?
Whenever you do the just like that, like it always gets me.
Why?
I don't know. It just it makes me laugh. Savor the Savannah.
Savor the Savannah. All right. So that same spot that we were just talking about on the Africa Wild Track, you were going there, but you are going for a meal. You can take in the views of the Savannah. You have a guide that is going to tell tales of the different inhabitants of the reserve. You can ask questions while you're there. It's very private and small again. So if you're looking for, the more privacy thing, this is definitely. But here's the whole thing that it says. Ready? Welcome to Savor the Savannah, a premium tour where you can discover the wonders of the continent's most amazing creatures and so much more. So there is special access to the Savannah. Premium eats, drinks, and mores. Again, sampling of African-inspired cuisine paired with regional beers and wine offerings. So I think that's where people get excited. All right, ready for prices?
Yep.
All right, prices range from $189 to $199 plus tax. Prices vary by the date. Advanced reservations are required. Theme park admission is also required, even though it is a private tour.
So again, this is on top of your theme park admission. You have to pay for this. $189 to $199. That's an expensive meal.
Yeah.
At Disney World, even. That's an expensive meal.
And I wouldn't even call it a meal. Like, it's not like a meal, again. Like, it's samplings of things. So I feel like it's going to be the same kind of feel as, like, snacks the whole time. But, like, you could definitely fill up on those things. But it's not like, don't think of it as, like, a sit-down meal where you're going to order and they're going to bring out food and all of that. Paying for the location.
You are paying for the location. You're paying for the experience more than you're paying for the food itself. But
kids can go to this as well. Again, 8 years and older. So it is not exclusive to adults. And yeah, rain or shine again. And make sure
it wouldn't be as big of a deal for this because you are under a cover there.
Yeah.
It is open air, but you're under a cover. So
yeah, that's not as... See what I mean? How can you top Africa Wild Track after that?
I mean,
I don't know.
This does have a value for people who...
If you're much more of a foodie and you're into like the culture and trying out different things like that.
And getting some quality time sitting on the Savannah, like that's cool.
Yeah, that is
cool. Worth something. So we've never done this. Worth us noting that we have not done this experience, but I think that I wouldn't mind trying it.
Yeah. I mean, I would want to know what food they were offering first. They don't tell you.
I think it's very similar menu.
That's what I said. That's what I think. All right, on to another one that we have done. This one is called Caring for Giants. or giants are elephants.
Oh, I
My
thought it was going to
favorite.
be, what's his name there? The giant from Mickey Mouse.
What?
I thought we were going to take care of,
The guy from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse? Tiny?
no, the big guy.
Yeah, isn't his name Tiny?
No.
Oh. What big guy?
Look it up. He's more than just Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Like, he was actually on, like, old Mickey. There's an old Mickey cartoon.
Willie.
Willie the Giant.
Willie.
Thank you. Jeez Louise. How could
Sorry,
we not remember
my
that?
gosh.
Tiny. Who the heck? Tiny. What is this?
I don't know. Willie, Tiny, it was an E
Willie
at the
the
end.
Giant. I thought we were taking care of Willie. I'm
No,
sorry.
we're taking care of
now
elephants.
that I failed to actually, like,
All right.
carry the joke
Overview.
through, it was a total failure.
Yeah, it was a failure. Caring for Giants is a 60-minute experience where you will have a knowledgeable guide who will provide insight into the workings of the African elephant herd at Disney Animal Kingdom. You get to go kind of backstage through a nice little walk. You get to kind of see where they stay and sleep. They talk about what their feeding schedule is like. You should know their names. That's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
And just learn about just the life of the African elephant in general.
Yeah, you meet with a zookeeper who talks a little bit about how they care for the elephants that are there at Disney's Animal Kingdom. When we did this, what was her name? Ruth?
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Emily? No, those are the elephants that are at the zoo up here.
I think one of her name was Donna, and Stella was the baby at the time.
Stella, that was it.
The baby?
Stella had just been born.
Yeah.
So we get
I
to
think
see Stella.
There's a new baby.
There is a brand new baby now, also at Disney's Animal Kingdom, part of their building the herd kind of.
Yeah,
like,
they really focus on conservation and stuff too. The guides talk about, things you could do to help with conservation.
Well, and
all
that kind
that
of gets
stuff.
into the second person that you talk to is a cultural representative, someone from Africa who talks a little bit about what do elephants mean in African culture and what are things that they are doing. They talk about like the bees
And the farmers.
and
the kind of fight between
and all those
elephants
kind
and
of
farmers.
things that they are doing to try to protect African elephants as well.
And some poaching things and stuff like that.
And you get to spend a lot of quality time just looking at the elephants. If you go on Kilimanjaro safaris and you're like, oh no, I just want to sit here and stare at the elephants, this is
I have
your
to
chance.
say, you're like 80 to 100 feet away depending on where they are. You are so much closer to them than being on the safari.
Yeah,
It's like, this
you
is
are
the
on the
closest you're going to
opposite
get.
side. If you're on the safari cars, the trucks that run through there, if you look up when the elephants are on your left and like the big herd of like the women and the children
Yep.
are there, you're on the opposite side of that. So you're literally backstage, which is awesome.
Yes. It was amazing. I thought
It's
I
a
learned
pretty quick experience.
it's
but
quick, but it was really cool. You got to go like completely backstage to like a truck, and then they brought you through like kind of the elephant house where like they're like kept, and we actually got to see on the way in there, if this is the right time, we got to see some of the rhinos and stuff while we were going back to where we needed to go. So we kind of got like a mini show, but it is mostly outdoors. Recommend going in the morning.
and you're not getting to touch any elephants. or
No,
anything
we're
like
not
that.
touching
You don't get that
elephants.
close, but you do get a much more up close view than you normally would on the
Yes.
ride. How much does this experience cost?
This is $39 per person. Not bad.
No, but that has gone up like $9 since we did it.
Yeah.
Because we bought this for our nieces and
We
nephew
did.
for Christmas one year when we knew we were going. This is the present that we got, and I remember distinctly it cost $30 per
Wow.
person. So it's gone up $9.
Yes.
With that being said, $40 for an hour-long experience. Again, keep in mind this is on top of your park admission. So you're not just getting into Disney's Animal Kingdom for $40. You have to have park admission. This is an additional fee. But with that being said, for what you get out of this and the amount of money that you spend on it, it's really not a bad deal.
No, it's really not. And I mean, from experience, the kids still talk about it. And we have funny memories. And it's just another, like, it's called Enchanting Extras for a reason, because it's just more magical memories there. You have to be at least 4 years of age or older to participate. So that's important
But this
here.
is something that,
But this
like, you
is
could
kind
take a
of
5-year-old
all
on
kids,
it,
yeah.
and you'd be okay.
Yeah. Avoid tantrum nap times.
Sure. But, like, you could take a 5-year-old on this and get your money's worth.
Definitely.
And, like, Africa Wild Trek, like, you can take an 8-year-old, but I don't think an 8-year-old's getting their money's worth out of it.
Yeah, definitely not.
There is another up-close encounter that you can have with a different
one more
animal.
It is. It's up close with the rhinos.
Rhinoceroses.
I only think of that Christmas song. Rhinoceroses. No.
Hippopotamuses.
Not hippos, just the rhinos.
Just the rhinos.
Same thing, basically, as the elephant. Switch it over to rhinos. 60 minutes. The keepers are going to take you backstage. It is
also
outdoors.
$39.
It says $49.
Whoa. So $10 more, but I think that this is a more personalized experience than the elephants, is it not? Like, I think you get closer to the rhinos on this.
Yeah, I definitely think so. It definitely doesn't say 80 to 100 feet. I definitely think you're closer.
I think that worth pointing out, we've never done this.
Yes, we've never done this one.
But I think that you actually get into, like, the stalls, like, where they sleep at night and stuff like that, and you see them from that perspective.
But yeah, so a little bit more in depth, I think, with just being closer to them. So that's where that price increase goes. But everything else, copy paste. 4 years old, you're going to be outside, closed-toed shoes, all that jazz,
Mm-hmm. This is something that I would actually like to do on an upcoming trip.
Yeah, we haven't done it, and this is definitely on the list. These next two are less so experiences than like little moments, I guess you would say. So they have a Capture Your Moment, Disney's Animal Kingdom version, which is basically a photo session with a PhotoPass photographer, with a good view of the Tree of Life, separate from like other views that people usually get. And you can do it for like engagements or honeymoons or honestly even like big parties or like milestone things or whatever it is. But it is $99. Well, starting at $99, I should say. It's 20 minutes and it's a photo session. So Mark and I did the Magic Kingdom version of this for our engagement. And it was really fun and intimate. They made you feel comfortable, I thought. They took so many different angles. They asked you to, do different poses or different fun things and like all of that. But the quality of the photos are really amazing.
Yeah.
And
it's PhotoPass photographers.
Yeah.
Is what you come to expect from the quality of photos that they take and the work that they do. And they always manage to get some of the greatest shots possible.
Yep.
So,
and they know the lighting, the angles. Like, they take pictures there all the time. So they know exactly what to do. Instead of being in
front of the castle, you're going to be around the Tree of Life.
Yep.
I'm sure there's opportunities with some of the animals that are around the Tree of Life to get some pictures with either, like, animals adjacent or things like that. But it's well worth it. It is pricey. $99 for 20 minutes is not insignificant. But I will say, like, hours that we did at Magic Kingdom, we still use these photos. Mm-hmm. The photo that you have on the social medias is from that photo session that we had.
It is.
So I see the value in it and why folks would want to do this.
Yeah. A cool thing to add on to even this one, if you wanted to get 2 different locations, you can book 2 sessions back to back. So you'll get 40 minutes with the photographer, but they'll do 2 different locations. So if you wanted a little more time with things or a little bit of a variety in your backgrounds and such. But there's just literally any situation or no situation at all. Like no celebration or not, like if you really just want some nice pictures for whatever reason.
Sure.
I say go for it. It is $99 a session. And yeah, you do get your prints. They do expire, the digital download, so make sure you download them. I did right away. You can book online or on your app. It's a limited number, but there could be same-day reservations available. So I say plan ahead.
Sure.
Make sure.
But keep in mind, right, you can get free PhotoPass photos. Well, you got to pay, obviously, for the package. But you don't have to pay to have people take your picture.
Yeah.
That are PhotoPass people, so just keep that in mind, too.
So this is kind of funny. I just think this is kind of funny. When reading through, like, the must, like, what to know before you go. You can bring different attire and props, but they must comply with Walt Disney World Resort property rules. So I'm assuming that means like no weapons, no that kind of stuff. Wedding attire is not permitted. Don't wear a wedding dress.
Darn.
If you are interested in wedding photography, you can get that, but you just have to go somewhere else for that. So this is not the place for a wedding dress.
To Animal Kingdom. That just, you know,
maximum party size
for me. Ruins it for me.
I know.
Maximum party size
is 8 people.
So no more than 8 people on the show. So if you're a family of 10, sorry, you had 2 children too many.
I don't know why. It's probably just to get the angle on the thing.
Sure.
That's all.
Don't be one of those big families, though. You can only have 6 kids. You got more than 6 kids, you can't do this. You're going to have to split the family in 2.
You're going to have to get 2 photo sessions, maybe.
Like when you got to split up hotel rooms because they're too big, you know.
You get some pictures,
room,
you get some pictures. You know, it's all good.
Cool.
Last but not least, or least, I don't know. We're heading over to Wind Traders in Pandora. Here is where you'll have the Ace Avatar Maker. Now, this is a take-home souvenir that you get to make by creating your very own avatar.
So you're becoming an avatar, basically.
Yes. So they get your face features, and they upload that data somehow. And you can choose from a variety of body types to customize your avatar, plus eye color and patterns of stripes and hairstyles and all that. But they take like your facial features and they make you an avatar. Then you pretty much get your own action figure of you as an avatar.
Great. How much does this cost?
The Ace Avatar Maker experience is $79.99.
To me,
and it's a posable action figure. You get to move its arms.
To me, this is an absolute waste of money.
Some people are really into this.
I understand. If you really like Avatar, if you really like dolls, and you think that they're cool, like, I get why people are action figures. Sorry, I shouldn't call it a doll. Because boys have action figures. They're dolls. Can we be real? They're dolls. I don't get it. But for you, if you are into this kind of thing with action figures and want an avatar that looks like you, then I guess that's kind of cool. But
don't down somebody else's woo.
Sure. They can do whatever they want.
It is a little expensive, I have to say. But
well, I mean, I guess when you consider that you're going to have a personalized avatar that looks like you, that's
then maybe
not
I
too
guess
bad.
it's not too bad.
I mean, what does it cost to build a bear to build a teddy bear? Like, it's got to be up there nowadays.
I hope not $80. Yikes. And I thought I wanted to bring our son there, but you're right, it's probably expensive. He's really into bears right now.
He is. Bear? Bear? Bear?
It's his favorite.
That's how he says it, too.
No, he goes, bear?
Bear.
Bear?
Bear.
He has like a New York accent. I don't know where that came from.
He loves Bear in the Big Blue House, for those of you in the know. We have exposed him to this.
It was my fault.
Older show that's no longer on air, and now, like, you try to get action figures,
like toys
that are Bear in the Big Blue House, and guess what? They're collectibles.
They're
They're
vintage.
like $200.
Vintage.
It's ridiculous.
Vintage. We're old. We were born in the 1900s.
Anybody out there with like a 3D, what do you call those? Yeah, 3D maker, right?
3D printer?
3D printer, there we go, that's what it's called. If you want to make a Bear in the Big Blue House
Your nephew owns one.
toys. Oh, he does. I wonder if he could do that. That'd be cool. Make some
We know.
Bear in the Big Blue House toys
someone who
out
has
of a
one of
3D
those.
printer. That'd be cool. Anyways, yeah, I don't get this experience, to get back on track and get off of our tangent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. But if it's something that, gets you excited about making your own avatar, go for it.
Yeah, it's
I'm sure
there.
there's some kids out there who would love to do this. And I'm sure there's some interesting
Well,
adults who would like to
going
do it too.
along with that, you can also get your own Banshee while you're there as well.
Not personalized, though.
Not personalized. Well, you get to pick which one
That's
you want.
why it's not on our list, technically.
Yeah,
but
technically.
you do get to pick
But
your...
you can just buy one.
Right.
So,
My
Those
nieces
are
and
kind of
nephew did
expensive,
this
too.
too.
Yes.
And those are very cool.
Yeah,
And my
those
nephew,
are cool.
for the rest of the trip, walked around with it on his shoulder.
yes, he was very excited about it.
He was. He's probably the most out of all
Yeah.
4 of them, the most
The
excited.
other ones are like, yeah, this is kind of whatever. He was like, it's on my
This
shoulder.
is awesome. And like could make it move and talk.
Yeah.
Like those are cool.
Those are cool. I can appreciate those. So, those are some of the enchanting extras that you can do at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. If you are interested in more content like this, let us know. We can do these for the other parks because there are enchanting extras in every park.
Everywhere.
So maybe we'll make this a little mini series where we go through each of the parks and talk a little bit about it. We've done most of these in Animal Kingdom, but there are still some on the list, like the Savor the Savannah and the Up Close with Rhinos that we haven't done yet. So there are things on this list that we still need to do, and we'll let you know if we try them out. But the other ones, the moral of the story is if you have the time and the money to do it, you got to do it. Africa Wild Trek is by far the coolest freaking thing you'll ever do in Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Absolutely.
Well worth it. Put it on your list if you've never done it.
Put it on the list.
And if you've done it before,
Do it again.
put it back on your list.
I would do it again.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
When our son gets old enough, I think we'll do it
Yeah.
again.
Especially if he's still into animals.
And if there's
Even
another
he's not.
kid, like somewhere down the
Let's go.
line, like when the kids are old enough, we'll do it again.
Absolutely. I think so.
Well, folks, as always, you can follow us on our social media accounts. Keep up to date with all the latest information about this podcast. You can send us an email at startswithawish.podcast@gmail.com. I'm starting to think that nobody loves us because nobody sends us emails. No. But whatever. Startswithawish.podcast.
Do people make it this far into the podcast episode? I don't know.
According to the retention rates, yes. On almost every single episode, we have a 75% retention rate.
Wow.
So
hi, everyone. Thanks 75%
for listening this far. Of people listen until the end of the podcast. I think that's pretty darn good.
I think so, too.
But
never mind. I take it back.
But nobody sends me an email, so...
Well,
it is what it is.
That's sad.
Startswithawish.podcast@gmail.com. And remember, folks, it all starts with a wish. We'll see you real soon.
Bye.